Greetings to all who have joined us this session virtually. Madam Deputy Speaker, I would like to join Minister for Youth in congratulating our Fiji Bulikula team for qualifying for the IRL Rugby League World Cup next year. This is greatly inspiring for young women in Fiji. Madam Deputy Speaker, the International Day of the Girl Child is commemorated on 11th October and focuses attention on the need to address challenges girls face in our homes and our communities. For the first time this year, our ministry marked the day to create awareness on the needs, challenges, and potential of our young girls. It is a special day and reminds us that our girls are not waiting to become Fiji's future. They are already shaping our present. Every day, they are leading, innovating, and breaking barriers. It is a celebration of girls as innovators, leaders, as sportswomen, and change agents in our communities. This commemoration serves to amplify their voices and pushes for their inclusion in research, policy, and development plans. The day calls on everyone to stand with girls and invest in a future that believes in their agency and potential. Madam Deputy Speaker, the celebration of Girl Child also draws attention to the inequalities and dangers many girls face due to their gender. This includes barriers to education, healthcare, and protection from violence. Recent statistics shared by the Assistant Minister for Health, Honorable Penyoni Ravunawa, painted a sobering picture. In just the first 6 months of this year, 8 girls under the age of 15 became mothers, while another 481 girls aged between 15 and 19 gave birth. In total, 850 teenage pregnancies were recorded in 2024, including 17 girls under the age of 15. Madam Deputy Speaker, these are not just statistics. These are our children, our girls who should be in classrooms, not in delivery wards. Between 2020 and 2024, 7,283 crimes were reported against children in Fiji, and 5,085 of these, that is 70%, involved girls. Adolescent girls of age 13 to 17 are the most affected, accounting for nearly 69% of all child crime victims. The majority of these are sexual offenses, rape, defilement, and sexual assault. This means too many of our girls are not safe, not even in their own homes. The Western and Southern divisions record the highest number of cases, but rural communities in the North and East also face serious risks. Technology-facilitated violence poses additional higher risks to our young girls. Deputy Madam Speaker, these numbers are not acceptable. No child should live in fear of abuse in our country. No girl should lose opportunity to grow to her full potential. Madam Deputy Speaker, to draw attention to these issues, our ministry, in partnership with Ministry of Education and other agencies, coordinated divisional activities across our communities. In Central Division, Nakavika Primary School in Namosi celebrated the day with parents, teachers, and village elders. In Northern Division, Lambasa College, Holy Family, and Bethel Primary School came together to organize various activities. In the Eastern Division, activities were organized across Kandavu's 3 districts, Tavuki, Nambukalevu, and Yale, reaching 27 villages. And in the Western Division, Koripita held awareness and empowerment program for its community. The programs featured awareness sessions and discussions on teenage pregnancy, early marriage, HIV and AIDS, substance abuse, leadership, and sports inclusion. Student oratory contests brought out powerful narrations on challenges faced by our young girls, but also showed their potential in critical thinking and leadership. Key partners included the Fiji Police Force, Medical Services Pacific, the National Fire Authority, and the Fiji Sports Commission. There were fun activities for learning, opportunities for counseling and support, and more importantly, availability of information on how to seek assistance if in need. Community elders, teachers, students, and stakeholders had focused discussions on creating opportunities for growth of girl child in each of these communities. Madam Deputy Speaker, we all know that education is one of the greatest tools for empowerment. Yet, data shows that many of our girls are still falling through the cracks. In rural schools, school dropout rate between year 8 and year 12 is almost 40% compared with the national average of 20%. According to the FemiSTEM 3 data for 2024, 73,295 girls enrolled in primary school compared to 79,240 boys, a 6.5% gap that has remained consistent over the past 5 years. At the secondary level, 7,554 girls remain in year 12, but dropped to around 5,258 in year 13. As girls reach senior levels, thousands seem to drop out of school system. While large numbers of boys also seem to be dropping out, many eventually go to vocational or employment opportunities. When girls drop out of school, they face severe consequences, including reduced earnings, lower standards of living, and a higher risk of early marriage and childbearing. Other impacts include poorer health outcomes, less agency in household and community decisions, and a cycle of limited opportunities for themselves and their children. For too long, these uncomfortable truths have been ignored and potential lost. We have to confront these challenges head-on, Madam Deputy Speaker. With the support of our partners, parents, and community leaders, the hope is that we build a strong network of protection and empowerment for every Fijian girl across the nation. Through the coalition government's integrated approach, we are strengthening child protection systems, enhancing community awareness, and ensuring that girls have access to both education and health services. This is being done through expanding family and community counseling services, integrating school-based awareness on safety, health, and leadership, and strengthening coordination between police, medical professionals, social welfare, and schools for faster response to cases of abuse and neglect. Through our divisional engagements, girls and communities have called for continuous campaigns in schools and villages. There have been requests for education materials in vernacular languages, leadership training for girls, and stronger linkages between schools, health, and protection services. In response, we are now in discussion with the Ministry of Education to make the International Day of the Girl Child a permanent feature on Fiji's National School and Empowerment Calendar. Madam Deputy Speaker, I would like to thank Ministry of Education, all participating schools, community leaders, service providers, and stakeholders for coming together to commemorate this special day. This year we have just started, so it was in select communities, but we hope we can build it on it for nationwide awareness and campaigns in the coming year. Our message is simple: every Fijian girl matters and deserves protection and opportunity to grow to their full potential. May God bless our children. May God bless our children. May God bless our girls. Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker.
Madam Deputy Speaker, our girls have done their part. I am a very proud father of 3 daughters, and our daughters are delivering. They are smarter, they are finishing school, and they are graduating at higher rates than our sons. Data shows that high school completion for girls reaches up to 97% compared to 79% for boys. But this is where the national story turns tragic. The moment our daughters leave the classroom, they are met with a betrayal of potential. This is the failure government must answer for. We have the best educated generation of young women in our history, but we allow their talent to be shelved by old beliefs that a woman's place is only in the home. We have a saying which is beautiful and true: give a woman a house and she will turn it into a home. I agree, Madam Speaker. Our women turn houses into homes through love and sacrifice, but our national statistics show that the government's failure to address key policy gaps is what enforces this expectation. How? By failing to provide affordable, quality national childcare. This policy gap ensures that the responsibility for care falls amongst entirely on women, who spend nearly 3 times more hours on unpaid care work than men. This lack of support is the structural barrier that keeps the female labor force participation rate locked at a mere 36.2%. The female labor force gap is 30% 30 percentage points, our girls are twice as likely to be out of the formal workforce as our sons. This is not a social issue. It is an economic crisis. The World Bank confirms that closing this gender employment gap by unlocking women's time would boost Fiji's GDP per capita by a massive 30%. 30%, Madam Deputy Speaker, our daughters are 30% economic powerhouse that this government is refusing to administer. We need a commitment in the budget, not just a plan. We talk about women's leadership, but female representation in this parliament remains crucially low, as you know, ma'am. When civil society and women's advocates call for a structural change to bring women to the decision-making table, prominent voices within the government call it tokenistic. How can we look our daughters in the eye and tell them to lead our nation when the men in this house oppose the very measures designed to ensure their place at the highest level of decision-making? This is the hypocrisy we must end. Madam Deputy Speaker, I want to address every father and every son listening to this debate today. The Honourable Minister's statement reminds us that we have a moral duty, not just as politicians, but as men, to dismantle the barriers that prevent our daughters from achieving the excellence they have earned. We can argue about policy and budgets all day, but the root of the problem is in the heart. My daughters, your daughters, all of Fiji's daughters are worthy of more than 3 times the labor and the half economic opportunity. The foundation of the future is simple. We must teach our sons to love and respect our daughters and to stand with them, not once a year, but every single day. Only when we stand together, men and women, fathers and daughters, in mutual love and respect, can we see the better, more prosperous Fiji for our children who deserve a better Fiji. Thank you, Madam. Thank you. Naka.